Hi, I'm Ryan from Landscape Plus, and today I'm going to show you how to wire solenoids into a 24 volt Hunter controller. So here we have got our 6-station X2 Hunter controller, some solenoid control cable, and 3 24 volt Hunter solenoid valves. It's worth noting on the inside of the controller quickly, we have got a 2 sensor ports. If you wanted to add a rain sensor and a soil sensor, for example, you would use those. We've got a common port, master valve port, and then 1 to 6 to control our individual solenoids. With the solenoid control cable, on this 6 core that we've got here, there's actually 7 wires. One's a filler cable, so ignore that one. You'll feel the difference between them. And then we've got our 6 individual cables here. We're only going to need 4 of them for this, 1 for each of the solenoids, and then a common cable, which we tend to use black as our one to complete the circuit. So I'll go through that shortly. So if we take 2 of those away, we've got 4 here. So if we're going to use the black cable as our common link, then you wire that one into the C on here. And then you choose a colour for each zone. So for this one, I'm going to use red for zone 1. Go yellow for zone 2. And green for zone 3. So as I mentioned previously, this is just to send a signal from your controller once you've set the time on there to send a signal to open and close your solenoid valves. So here's our first solenoid here. As I mentioned earlier, you've got a trigger wire and a common wire. The polarity doesn't matter, so it's either or. But on your first connection from your controller into your gel-filled connector, you would have your red cable, because that's going to be our zone 1, and then your trigger wire from your solenoid valve. So they will get pushed into your gel-filled connector. Got a transparent back so you can actually see when it's all the way in as well. And then your trigger wire from your solenoid, and this can then be clamped down. Like so. And then it will be repeated, so you get your second solenoid valve, again, trigger wire, and then our channel 2, which is yellow, another gel-filled connector, and then you can do the 2 together again, making sure they're pushed to the top, and make sure they're pushed all the way down. So that's channel 1 and 2 done, red and yellow, and then our third, which is green. Push down again. And that's that. So now we've connected one side of our solenoid valves up. We've got 1 spare cable on each of them. This is going to be used as our common cable to link them all together to complete the circuit. So again, we have another gel-filled connector, and we're left with 1 core here that we haven't used, which is our black cable, which we're going to use as our common link. So that will be pushed into one side. You then use the other side of our first solenoid. That will go in the middle. And then to link these up, we're going to use a spare bit of black cable as our common link. So one side will push into there and push that down. And then our second gel-filled connector, you will have your common link going in the first one. Then our second solenoid spare port will go in the middle. And then same again, because we need to link a third one in. I've got another spare bit of solenoid control cable, and that will push into the third one there. And that leaves us with 1 spare cable left on our last solenoid. So that common will go into our third one. And then the last solenoid in there, that can push down. This is probably hard to understand, but I'll try and give you a brief overview. So we have got one side of our solenoid, our trigger, going into color coordinated into our Hunter controller here, red, yellow and green, that link in to 3 connectors here. And then the second side of our solenoids is our common link, and that's being linked together with a bit of black solenoid control cable. So it'll look a little bit like this, but hopefully that has helped. So that was a brief overview of how to wire 24 volt solenoids into a 24 volt Hunter controller. If you've got any questions, please get in touch with the office.